Welcome to the Non-Binary Show. I'm Mika and I'm non-binary.
I'm Sam and I'm bisexual.
We've been going out for less than a year and we're already getting married.
And that means there's a lot we still don't know about each other.
So each episode we pick a different topic and have an honest conversation.
Today, why do you have to shove your queerness in our faces?
Because it wouldn't fit in your throat.
Oh, so sweet.
That's the question we get a lot.
Yeah.
Like not like we as individuals, but as a community.
As a community, yeah.
You hear a lot of, I don't need to know what you're doing in your bedroom. Like, why are you showing off? And then they turn around and say, who are you sleeping with? So I'm confused at this point.
I think we all are. Because bisexuals more than anybody.
Oh,
of course.
Joke.
I'm allowed to make that joke.
You are, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I know we must feel like we're playing the same record again and again, but we need to talk about Bimini Bon Boulash.
Who was robbed.
Robbed of the crown. Okay. Bimini is from Great Yarmouth, okay, which I don't think is that far away from Norwich. I really don't know anything about UK geography, and that's really bad.
Don't look at me.
Coming from an English person, that is very bad. Anyway, so there is a mural in the Pottergate Underpass in Norwich, okay? It was painted a couple of weeks ago by an artist called Napple. They were working with an activist, and they made this mural. Can you describe what's going on here?
So here's Bimini cheering Norwich in her Norwich English and skipping letters.
Yes.
In the first outfit, I think it was like the first episode outfit.
Yeah, I think they had
the one they
had to represent their hometown.
Yeah, and the one they lip sync in.
Yeah, that was their only lip sync, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was robbed, by the way.
She
robbed.
as a queen.
Yes.
They as a Bimini. As Tommy.
As Tommy, yes.
Yeah, and they're saying in big letters, Bimini, babes, watch the queen conquer. Whatever you are, he, she, or them. #trans rights.
Okay. And at the back, there is the trans flag.
Yeah.
Okay. So they painted this a couple of weeks ago. Okay. Now, this is what confuses me, right? I don't know whether what happened next was because Drag Race finished or if it was homophobic. But after Drag Race finished, the mural got painted over and now it's just some shitty street graffiti.
I feel like I think it's not homophobic. I think because this place is for everyone to do graffiti on.
I know.
Some people just like they looked at it and I was like, well, I don't give a shit, and they just painted over.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just because of that.
I think it would have been worse. I think it would have been more attacking Bimini in particular if they had done like a beard and a moustache.
Yeah, like
if
they
those
would
kinds of things.
If they would have left a message.
Yeah.
Then it would be an attack.
Instead, the whole thing is just a massive street tag from someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bimini said on Twitter about this, I will never stop being myself. I'll never shy away from living an authentically queer experience, even if there are people that disagree with our existence. I don't feel anger, I have sympathy. I feel sorry for the people who felt threatened or intimidated by a message portraying love, positivity, and kindness. Trans rights are human rights, and I will push that message until the end.
Yes.
I love her. This is why she was robbed. So that is kind of our news of the week, right? Because we're going to go into something a lot bigger that's happening. That's happened in the recent weeks.
This news is very close to our topic. That's why we chose this topic, because it's like exact same thing happened in Lithuania, but it's more serious. like as I said, Bimini's thing was painted over without any message after. So even if people didn't like what they saw and they wanted to remove it, it was done in a quiet way, not
Yeah.
offending anyone. Yeah, it's sad it's removed, but at least we know it's not like they made fun of Bimini or write message back to say fuck you trannies or something. I'm sorry. But like something very offensive and
Yeah.
very bad. In Lithuania there's a war of street painting.
Yeah.
There's in Lithuania, in the capital, there is this underground passage so you can cross the road safely.
Yeah.
And it's the council let people do whatever they want in there, as long as
Yeah.
it's, of course, like if they put bunch of dicks in there, probably it would paint it up like off. But they just told to street artists, just do whatever you like it's free to everyone.
Yeah.
There's no you don't need any legal thing, like nothing, just do whatever you want. So these kids, I'm calling them kids because they're probably 20 some.
I have one of their names. I'll have to look quickly for the other one. One of their names is You're going to have to really apologise for my accent now.
I'm sorry for her accent.
Carolina Rimkute.
I like that you put that accent on.
Carolina Rimkute.
Carolina.
I'll have to quickly look for the other person's name, if it's in here at all.
Linas.
Oh, yeah.
Linas
Her
Saluchka.
boyfriend, Linas Saluchka.
I didn't know they were a couple. That's cool. Yeah, so they decided to do this nice thing because this whole thing in Lithuania right now, we have a new person to fight for human rights, for LGBTQ rights.
Can you say his name for me, please?
Tomas Vytautas Raskevičius.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's trying, he and his party, like
Yeah.
they're trying
It's
to...
the Freedom Party.
Yeah, Freedom Party, they try to fight for a right. And it's stirred up very badly and it's like a lot's going on. So they painted this long LGBTQ flag, just like the rainbow. Just rainbow through the whole thing.
Yeah. All down the one side of the underpass. It's like 50 feet long.
Yeah, it's very long. And it's just your typical rainbow. And I think there are a few words as well, like your teacher, your neighbor, and just saying that like anyone could be LGBTQ.
So if this hasn't translated well, I apologise. But this is Google Translate for you.
Yeah,
right? We wanted to get the message across to those people who seem to imagine that the LGBTQ plus community is a space organisation.
Yeah.
And they don't know those people. Only they know them, but don't know that their acquaintances are part of the community.
Yeah.
After all, there are many of us. We can be someone's teacher, cashier, doctor, and the like.
Yeah.
Those people do not necessarily want to reveal themselves because in Lithuania, it's still scary to talk about such an important part of identity.
Yep.
Carolina said that.
Yeah, that is true. So they did that. It looks nice. Even you can see the MP is there as well.
Can you please say his name again?
Tomas Vytautas Raskevičius.
Raskevich. I'm going to have to remember that. Okay. It's a very long name. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I apologise.
Yeah, so he has a photograph in there as well.
Yeah.
So how long was the rainbow there? For how long?
About a week. And then even more people showed up and painted over the entire rainbow flag with the Lithuanian flag.
So we have 4 guys.
Yeah.
All of them, I think only one of them has hair.
Not to
look
put
at
a
me.
label on people.
Don't look at me.
Mika doesn't have any hair, FYI.
I have hair. I have like a centimeter now. Yeah, so they painted it in Lithuanian colors. So it's like Lithuanian tricolor flag.
Yeah.
It's not a flag because the flags...
Yes.
The thing is, the definition of a flag is a piece of cloth.
Yeah.
They painted the colors on that to say that you can't touch it because it would be a disgrace for the flag. But the definition of the flag doesn't say that it's some dirty underpass place.
Yeah.
To me, this actually feels like they disgraced the Lithuanian flag by putting it there, because it's a free space to all to just paint dicks all over if they want.
Yeah. I've got something here about how they organised it.
Yeah.
I want to announce that either this weekend or sometime soon, Super Straights are planning to paint their flag on the Pride flag wall in Vilnius.
Yeah, so Super Straights now went to Lithuania. I think the trend died down now. I haven't seen a lot of them.
Super Straights.
I think Reddit blocked a lot, and like that helped a lot, because a lot of like TikTok blocked it, and I'm sure Instagram doesn't let. And I saw people using that as an ally thing as well. No, like changing the hashtag to be an ally instead.
Yay!
Yeah, like Proud Boys.
Yes.
Yeah. So it dialed down, but of course in Lithuania things reach a bit slower. So they pretending to be super straights, patriotics, and defending traditional family.
Yeah.
So they painted over Lithuanian flag, saying that you can't touch it because it's Lithuanian flag.
Yeah, because now it's patriotism.
Yeah, so they're covering homophobia with patriotism.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of groups on Facebook, Nazi groups.
Yeah.
Some of them has just straight up taken some artwork from Nazis,
Yeah.
cropped it and put it there like as a traditional family.
Some of them still say SS.
Yes.
Behind
Yes,
these images of a traditional
And
family.
Facebook doesn't have problem with that.
No, if you report it, sorry, it doesn't go against our community standards.
So there are groups like Stop LGBT Propaganda, which nothing wrong, because
Yeah.
LGBT is propaganda. It's like, I thought Facebook is against fake news. So-
Zuckerberg, what gives? So, how did we, the queer community, how did we fight back?
We fought back by writing, "Don't paint over us. We are Lithuanian kids as well."
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, it's in Lithuanian, I can't read it.
LGBT plus and a heart.
Yes.
They just try to write on top of the flag to say that we are Lithuanian kids too. We love, like, love is love, and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then every time those homophobic Nazis came back and paint over with white dye. So now it looks terrible.
Yeah. Karolina Vrymkuta has said something else after writing that again on the flag. It's a bit unfortunate that those people are ordinary homophobes who cover up their homophobia with patriotism.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Of course, we are surprised that the rainbow is completely painted. It probably took a very strong hatred, a lot of paint and effort.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you can paint on both sides.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can paint on both sides of this underpass.
You can-
And they deliberately chose to cover up
Yeah.
our colours.
You can paint like that. They could just did half of it. As a Lithuanian person who doesn't really identify as much with Lithuanians,
Yeah.
because
Because of this.
This is the reason I am avoiding Lithuanians, and like I'm still trying to participate, making things better, but I'm not as strong to actually fight for it. This is my only this platform. We doing this. This
Yeah.
is the only thing I can do. And comment on Facebook.
It's a
sometimes.
small platform, but
Yeah.
but this is, this is why we do what we do.
Like, this is the most I can do. And then people like that just make people like me say, "No thanks, I don't want to come back there."
Yeah, I mean this is why you left in the first place.
Yeah.
The police had to come in and get involved because people were
So what I
because
wanted
people
to say,
were desecrating the flag.
yeah. So those Nazis,
Yeah.
they were guarding it. I want to remind everyone, the wall is everyone's. Anyone can touch it. Just because you put 3-color flag in there, it doesn't mean that it's a flag. A flag is a piece of cloth.
Yeah.
And those people were guarding it, and they actually, there were 2 guys, there was a video, there were 2 guys just just doing their own business. Like, I think they just came in to just do whatever they like. Just something completely different from LGBT. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they were involved in anything. The police was called
Yeah.
to a public place, a public wall that anyone could paint on. And of course, nothing happened. And it's just wasting police time. And it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Again, Carolina's just commenting on this whole development. In Turkey, there was a similar case where young people smeared rainbows on their windows during quarantine just to brighten the mood. It had nothing to do with LGBTQ plus people. The Taliban interpreted this as gay propaganda, meaning that teachers are trying to turn their pupils into gays. Gays?
That's Google Translate for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Nationalists accuse rainbow supporters of fuck you all on tricolour.
So someone did the thing just street graffiti, straight on, fuck you all, and they blamed LGBTQ community for it. We have nothing to do with that. And it's probably just a bunch of kids who just got fed up that their wall was stolen. Yeah. And there's probably that.
Yeah.
Again, you can piss on that wall. And they put Lithuanian colors on it. To me, that's disgraceful. To put Lithuanian colors in a place where people take a piss and stuff, and drink and probably do drugs sometimes.
Yeah.
So people just.
This is my favorite part now.
Yeah, people just thought, well, fuck it. Take your underpassage if you want, and they just started doing things like combining Lithuanian flag with LGBTQ plus flag.
Yeah. There's a picture here of a different piece of wall. Is this in a different part of the city?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a picture here of a rainbow. Half of it is pride colours. The other half is Lithuanian colours.
Yes.
You can be both.
Yes, that's what they want to say. There's enough room for everyone.
Yes. Because of that one, I understand. Was that in Vingus Park?
Yeah.
Okay, so because of that one in Vingus Park, there's been other ones that have been cropping up around the city, around Vilnius and Kaunas. There's lots of murals and graffiti and all sorts. There's the same thing that's half and half here in a heart.
Yeah.
There is a kind of mural thing that someone's doing that looks like a sweeping rainbow. What does that say?
You can't delete us. You can't erase us.
You can't delete us.
So there's you can't erase us. You can't erase us. You are not alone.
Basically, we're clapping back.
It's our country too.
Yeah, so there's at least 10 of them around these two cities, and more than 40 people have taken part.
So this website, it's not talking about what happened next, but I saw some pictures on Facebook, and I didn't share them and anything. I think it's just spreading the negativity, and we don't want that.
Yeah, I know.
So the rainbow parts of all these drawings with
when they've been split in half.
Yeah. Are crossed out with black paint, a bunch of X's.
Yeah.
And saying this is communism. And
I missed that part.
Yeah, there's this bunch of stupid shit saying stuff So it's basically they're still trying.
Yeah.
But covering it with X's just shows that you can't stop us. Our rainbow is still showing.
Yeah.
So
Mika, your rainbow is showing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll cover up. Yeah, and then people painted a pink triangle on top of that Lithuanian flag colors in the passage.
Yeah. You know what the pink triangle means, don't you?
Yeah. I think you should tell, because I talk a lot.
I know it is a common symbol, but if you don't know yet, the pink triangle was the mark of a homosexual person in concentration camps during the Holocaust. You would have to wear a pink triangle on your arm to show the Nazis that you were gay.
Yeah. And
since then, the pink triangle has been taken back. We have ownership of that symbol now. Like the Proud Boys thing, where we take something back and claim it as our own. It was used more so during the AIDS protests in the 80s to say that we're not backing down. I think the triangle was a symbol of the AIDS crisis. But now the rainbow is more popular. But some people still use the triangle. So someone's painted the pink triangle on the tricolours in the underpass, basically.
Yeah, so it says on this one that nationalists threaten anyone who dares write anything on that tricolor thing.
Yeah.
It's not even a flag. Again, flag is a piece of cloth. So they painted that, expecting that no one can touch it, and they were guarding it.
Yeah.
So aggressive individuals were roaming around that area, attacking everyone. Like I said, there were 2 guys who just were minding their own business and probably wanted just to paint anything.
Yeah.
And they were attacked and called. The police was called, and for no reason really, because I could paint like 3 colors on myself and walk around, no one can touch me. Someone made a good point.
Yeah.
Someone made a good point. They put a picture on when Lithuania is a basketball country. Like, people are obsessed with basketball, and we're good at it, and we won few championships and stuff. We're good at it, and of course, people are obsessed, and they go to the games, and they have flags painted with people's names on it because they're supporting our country.
Yeah,
that is a disgrace too, because you can't paint over a flag. But for some reason, people don't pay attention to that, and now this is some underway thing, and people treating it as a bigger thing,
like
than
a national monument.
Yeah. Like, people paint their faces with these colors, and then they wash it. Is a disgrace.
Yeah.
So this is just total bullshit. So the last thing they did. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You want to say?
No, it's all right. I was just about to mention this. This is the most recent thing that's happened in this story. The Lithuanian LGBTQ plus community is uniting in the face of homophobia. This Friday, which was yesterday as we're recording this, a mini pride took place in the underground passage in Vilnius, where a rainbow that had become a symbol of queer support was painted on a while ago. Do you mind translating that for me?
So it says you can't order love, like you can't order who to love and stuff. Like you can't control your love. Yeah. And if you could live like a free person, you would fight for that right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people who don't understand why we fight say things like, you just live your life, don't shove it in our faces, which is our topic today.
Yeah.
Which is why we talk about it. Is it actually shoving in someone's face when you go somewhere, especially in Lithuania, when, like, if we were living in Lithuania, and I get into the accident and you need to visit me in the hospital, and you have to say, I'm her girlfriend, and they say, fuck off.
No. In 16 days, I can say, I'm her wife.
Yeah, you wouldn't be in Lithuania.
Yeah, I know.
And that is the thing we're fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say, don't shove it, like, we're not shoving. Just say, okay, do these things. It's just they fighting like we're gonna take something from them. And we're not gonna. There's gonna be a family defending march. Pride thing. I don't know how to call it. People are going to defend their families against LGBTQ plus community. What are we doing to your families? The traditional family in Lithuania is not that good. Like,
yeah, I know.
The statistics are not that great. There are a lot of people with alcoholism problems, a lot of abuse, and fix that. Go and fix that. Focus on that. Don't focus on LGBT community.
No, they're trying to justify those problems by targeting us.
Yeah.
They're trying to make us look like the problem.
Yeah. So hopefully these all things that we're fighting for will start to get better. But at this point, I've seen a lot of articles, and still, like the thing I said before as well, I think in previous episodes, that at this point in Lithuania, we have a lot of articles pushed out in like national television websites, some of the newspapers as well, like printing good stuff, Oops.
Yeah.
But there's this Vakaro Žinios newspaper.
What does that mean? Sorry.
It's like evening news.
Okay.
So it's there's a newspaper called Republic, and it's in the same group as you can see on the website.
The publishers.
Yeah, they're publishers, but they have a separate newspaper as well called Republic.
Oh, okay.
So it's like Republic, of course, means something patriotic.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing, they just publish conspiracy theories and stuff. Like nothing that was actually proven to be true. And just publish lies. We have a picture of this newspaper and the headline says, "The demolition of civilization is ordered and paid." So it's basically saying, I've seen some of those articles before when they say that someone paid and someone's like paying for all these prides and like shoving this thing in people's faces and stuff, like because they don't know any LGBT people. They think this is not real.
Yeah.
It's just a conspiracy theory. And it's like 5G towers,
Microchips in people's brains.
COVID, and LGBT.
Those are the big ones at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to this part here, insults, threats, and lies about LGBTQ plus people are spread in online comments, and the dubious reputation of Vakaroshinos calls LGBTQ plus people an organisation that receives funding to spread misleading information to the public.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know we were part of a cult.
Whoops. The thing is, at this point, when you see all this, it just feels like we fighting, just what you call windmills.
Windmills?
You don't know that donkey? What's his name? Whatever. But yeah, it's like fighting wind. We have this saying in Lithuania.
I'm just confused.
You
now.
just like when you do something, it's like you try to pluck my hair, which I don't have.
Oh.
It's like you do something and it's worth like
You're trying to attack something that doesn't exist.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
They're fighting an enemy that is not real because we are not an enemy. I can guarantee that these people who are fighting it the most have LGBTQ plus people in their families.
Yeah.
Or they are that as well.
Yeah.
Because that's the part of the
I'm
thing.
looking at you, Grajulis.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Grajulis? Because I know we've mentioned him a couple of times on other episodes.
So he is an MP.
Yeah.
And he was fighting for the family rights and against LGBT so hard.
Yeah.
He was dragged out of one of the prides.
Yeah. So there was one... I know that he goes to Pride events with like a megaphone and stuff and says it's an abomination that you're all here. You're celebrating... I forgot the word now. Sin, yeah, things like that. So he outspokenly goes to these things and he just won't back down.
To resist, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes there to resist.
Yeah.
But I feel like he wants to be part of it.
I feel like he just shows up with the megaphone and says all this stuff because he is secretly gay. Because
one of the times when pandemic hit, all the meetings were on Zoom and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a public meeting.
Yeah, anybody could just watch this thing on Zoom.
And and he had problems with his computer and stuff. And like he was like doing something. And this young man, half-naked young man, went into the shot like
to help him out with his computer.
And everyone was like, Who's that? And he's like, so he never answered who's that.
No, didn't he say it was a reporter that's been stalking him?
Yes, it's like, the thing is, in the end, no one knows who that is.
Rent boy. I think he's a rent boy.
Yeah, people just taking a piss out of it at this point.
But after that happened, he became a meme, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
It was.
Yeah. So basically, if you, like, we are saying this now, if you are so against the gay community, chances are you're bottling up some deep feelings inside.
Well, that is true.
You are one of us.
Deep
down.
A lot of transgender people are transphobic, and then they discover that they're trans, discover that actually all these feelings, like the hatred was bigger because they didn't want to admit that they are actually trans too. Yeah.
And it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was homophobic at some point as well.
I think we all were.
Yeah,
it was just a culture when we were kids, wasn't it?
That's why we're fighting, so kids don't have to grow up hating themselves.
Yeah. And then, right, people are saying, what's with all these kids coming out all the time? It's such a trend now. That's because we're making it more comfortable for them. They feel safer to do it now.
There was an article.
It's not a trend. It's just that more people, more kids are feeling braver because we've led that pathway for them.
There was
Mic
an article. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, my fucking TED Talk. I'm sorry, I'm a bit pissed off now. I'm in the zone now.
There was an article where they were saying exact thing.
Yeah.
Like, studies show that more and more people following the trend to come out as LGBT plus community.
It's not a trend.
Yeah, that's a Lithuanian article.
Oh, okay. Because that makes it more understandable.
Yeah. And there was another thing. I read this a while ago. It's confusing. It's not my words. It's that person's words.
Yeah.
The person identifies as a woman now. So the article says, dramatic story of this woman, right? She was trying to run away from traumatic past, and she decided to become a man. And the thing is, this article is just like question and answer type of article. So there's like questions, how was your childhood and stuff. So this article basically puts things in that way that you had traumatic childhood, you didn't know your father, LGBTQ+, you were problematic, LGBTQ+, like you are that, because you didn't know your father, because you had the shit childhood.
I'm trying to put the blame on something.
Yeah, so this whole article is just an excuse for homophobes now. So this one article could be, like anyone could just say, look, but this article says this and this and this. The journalist asking, when did you understood that you're attracted to women and not men? And this woman says back, well, this attraction to women I felt from when I was little. I think that happened because I had a lot of abuse and not enough love from my parents. And when I had a girlfriend, I felt like I'm needed, and like, you know, that kind of stuff. I just want to say one thing.
Oh, hang on. Oh, wait. Here's your microphone.
My childhood was great. I was at home with my mom and my dad. They loved me. My grandparents loved me. My aunt, like everyone loved me. Like I never, there, of course, every family has their issues and it's nothing is perfect. But as a kid, when I was like, before my teen years especially, I was so happy. I had a lot of things, whatever my dad could afford to get me, I had that. And like, they tried hard to make me happy and make me feel good. And we had a lot of talking. There was a lot of hugging and love, like actual love.
Yeah.
There were like any issues you could talk, and like, it was great. And the one thing my mom could blame me being gay at the time was because I spent so much time with my dad. But again, tell me, how am I, like, my parents didn't talk about LGBTQ because of course they weren't educated.
Yeah.
Instead, like, they never spoke hate about it. This topic wasn't touched, basically, most of the time. If it was touched, like you saw it on TV, yes, they didn't understand it, but they never like talked with hate about them. They just said, I don't understand how they can be this way. Which is your opinion, like not your opinion, but like this is understandable that you don't understand them. You don't have to say fucking fags and stuff, sorry. But like you don't have to hate talk about people if you don't understand them.
Yeah.
So my childhood was great. My teen years was okay as well. Of course, when I got to the age where you feel attraction to people, that's when it started to get confusing. But because we weren't educated, I didn't know what's going on and stuff, right? Like, I didn't tell my parents that because I thought that's how everyone feel. I still couldn't figure it out and stuff. I couldn't talk to my parents about that because, of course, of the situation in Lithuania, because I don't know exactly how they feel about it, because we don't talk about that enough. That's why I couldn't come out properly to my parents, because I was afraid. But again, I'm this way, not because of my parents showed perfect heterosexual family.
Yeah.
And I still turned out this way. So it's nothing to do with your past, how traumatic it is or how not traumatic. You traumatize your kids by being hateful. That's it. That's what I want to say. So yeah, that article, that woman, I snooped around and stalked a bit on Facebook. Oh. I found her Facebook, and she is obsessed with God.
Right.
So that article is like perfect for churchgoers. Yeah, to just shove in people's faces. Yeah, and the one you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So I read this morning about a transgender man who is now finally transitioned, I think. We have a problem with words in Lithuania at this moment, with terms, not words. I stumbled across few articles and like few things people talk about and stuff. We don't have a term for AFAB or AMAB or AGAB.
Yeah.
Like assigned gender at birth.
Yeah.
There's no term for that. So this article in 15minutes.lt is not great, but I guess it's okay because it's actually the actual transgender man talking about himself. So it's not like they're trying to make him look bad. There are a few things I don't like, but I guess this is better than nothing. So the heads, what you call it, this thing. Headline, yes, thank you. I'm tired, can you tell? So the headline says, born as a woman and changed his gender.
If only there was a word that sums up that definition in one word. What the?
We don't have that yet. That's a problem with this. People want to know what was in your pants before you did it.
Yeah.
People want to know what was your name before you did it. So that's what I don't like about this article.
Yeah.
So I like his name. His name is Danilas. It's not usual.
See, I don't really know what that. Don't really know what the English equivalent of that would be. Daniel, maybe?
Danilas, yeah. Yeah, so he's just talking about his... I didn't read it thoroughly. Because I stopped when I saw this. The only thing that he doesn't want to talk about is the name that was given by his parents. Yes, people, trans people don't want to tell you their dead names.
Because they're dead.
Because they're fucking dead. I hate this question.
Yeah.
Oh, you changed your name. So what was it before? Fuck
Doesn't
off.
matter.
Fuck off.
I know.
Yeah. Again. It's like, use the word transitioning.
What if they said?
It's like changing and... I don't know. That's the thing. The terms in Lithuania for transgender people are horrible.
Yeah.
We don't have a gap thing. We don't have like proper words to put things nicely in. We don't have gender neutral terms. It's terrible. Oh, and one thing, the last thing, when people talk about gender and sex in Lithuania, there's only one word for it.
Yeah.
So in English you have sex and gender, and in most cases you ask only one. You don't ask sex and then say, what's your gender?
Yeah.
You don't do that because that's not nice. In Lithuania, people actually do that still. They ask, what's your biological gender? Because we only have sex, or like we only have one word.
Yeah, I know. And this is what I was talking about earlier. The language is so limited.
So
there's no room to expand it. If the people learn and grow their their viewpoints on these matters, the language will still be the same around it, and that's stopping you from growing.
Yeah. So someone was doing like a research thing and asked to fill in some form of questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to participate. And I get the question, biological sex, and I'm like, okay. And then there's social sex, which is gender. And I'm like, so, okay, let's say this. I'm a trans man. I'm not, but let's say this. I'm a trans man.
Yeah.
I'm trans man. I go on that, and I have to put in sex, which is not a gender.
Yeah.
On those terms, you have to put sex as you are now, before the transitioning, right?
Yeah.
How much dysphoria can you get from that? Just, I'm sorry, this is gonna trigger people, but you just go
It's
on and hang
triggering
yourself.
me.
Yeah, some people would just want to do stuff after that, after seeing that. Like, Census did a good job.
Yes. We didn't talk about the census this year, did we?
No, there's nothing to talk, but they actually have a lot of options and you can put whatever you want. We did talk last time a bit.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh. See, I can't even remember.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
The census did a good thing. That's why you don't ask sex and gender in the same form.
Yeah.
And it's better to avoid sex question at all, because it doesn't matter unless you're at the doctor's. I understand why doctors would need to know. It's hurtful, because this body is not yours as a trans person. It's hurtful, but you do understand why they need to know, because like your life might matter on it.
Yeah.
But any other thing, you don't need to ask people sex.
Yeah. And you don't need to answer back if they do ask.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing.
Yes. Fun fact.
Oh?
When you go to get married in UK, they ask for your sex.
Yes.
Yeah. And you have to answer.
There was a bit of confusion in the room at that point.
Yeah. Like I had to go through that thing and said, yes, we are the same sex.
Yeah. And then I had to make it more complicated by saying she's non-binary. And they were like, oh, excuse me. The woman had to go and get her manager and say, right, what's the problem?
It was like half an hour delay, because then he had to come to me to ask me questions, and I told him,
sorry.
I told him sex and gender are two different things.
Yeah.
And at this, like in this, yes, I'm female. Ugh.
Yeah.
Because it's sex, and that's the thing. Like, this should be changed too. Why do they care?
It's got something to do with like the traditional.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Yeah. I think you could hear that she just rolled her eyes. So, like, going back to like the traditional like rules of marriage.
Yeah.
It took them ages to change the rules so we could have same-sex marriage. But we are deliberately having a civil partnership.
Yeah.
To get away from that tradition, because it's outdated, and civil partnership seems more liberal to us. Yeah. Seems more freeing that we're able to do that.
That's the only reason we're doing civil partnership. We're calling it a marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we did some research when we decided that we want to do this.
Yeah.
We looked into marriage and we looked into civil partnership, and there was no difference. The only difference was that marriage is traditional.
Yeah.
And we looked at each other and said, we're not traditional, so fuck marriage.
Yeah.
We're getting a civil partnership.
This right here, not traditional.
No.
Believe it or not.
I'm still gonna call you my wife. And we're still saying spouse and stuff.
Yeah.
Because to us, it's
just a mouthful to say, this is my civil partner, Mika.
Yeah, it's like you can...
No,
like,
this is my spouse, Mika.
Yeah, like, if it's a legal thing, if you want to tell someone, like...
Like, if we need to fill in a form...
Yeah.
That's okay. But in a conversation with friends or something, like, no, this is my spouse, Mika.
When I was looking at car insurance and I was putting you as a second driver and this like relationship thing, and a spouse, civil partner, and like in that case, I would call you a civil partner, because that's what
filling in a form. Yeah.
But for some people who we just met, I would say my wife.
Yeah. My wife.
I'll brag about it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, should we get...
Just one tiny thing. Everybody, go watch the music video for Montero, Call Me By Your Name.
Yes.
And everybody, go worship Satan.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Non-Binary Show.
You can follow and message us on Instagram at non.bi.neri or over on Facebook at facebook.com/non.bi.neri.show.
We're posting a lot more podcast updates and stuff from our personal lives, but most of the time you'll see queer memes.
You can also send us a voice message on Anchor at anchor.fm/non-binary. That's all one word, no dots.
Send us a voice message and you might be in our next episode.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.